And it was Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com. And I've been sitting on this video for a while. I've wanted to make it and I've just tried to figure out how to tie it in so that I could help the most people. And I realize I know not all my videos are orthodontic facing. Some of them are about being a dentist and how it's hard to be a dentist. Some of them are about being a female dentist and how it's hard to be a female dentist. And I really think that as female dentists, maybe in the second half of our lives, we need to help the younger ones because we're gatekeeping a lot of information that maybe no one told us and we struggled and figured it out. And then we just kind of keep quiet and we're like, haha, you guys suffer. No, 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 that's not what I'm on. I'm not going to do that for you guys. So everyone who's younger than me, I'm not holding any secrets. I'm going to tell you what things I'm doing. Some stuff's going to work. Some stuff's not going to work, you know? But if something really worked, I'm going to tell you about it. Okay, so let's talk about HRT. And I've did some content on HRT before. You can put in the keyword HRT, that's hormone replacement therapy. I know it is controversial and it's a personal choice. And a lot, medical science in the United States has not kept up with the research. And there's a lot of shady stuff that has gone on in this research. So every one of you who listens to my channel, I'm assuming most of you are professionals or at least educated. You know how to read a white paper. You know how to read a journal article. I encourage you to read it. Read about all those women health studies from 2002 and then now start to see all the female doctors. We were all educated that it's not a good idea to go on hormone therapy. You know, it's just a natural process, you know, of your hormones. But the problem is our bodies were meant to, you know, as soon as we got mature, to have babies and then raise our babies and then die. You know, like there was not supposed to be this 50 to 60 years of decades after we're done having kids where we're still alive. Our bodies weren't meant for that. They fall apart if they do not have certain types of proteins and hormones that go away naturally. So it just, things as evolution or whatever's happened, things haven't kept up. We've managed to live longer, to double, triple our lifespan, but our hormones have never changed. As a matter of fact, they've gotten worse, where our hormone levels have all gone down. We don't know if it's the plastics or what it is, but that's a fact. So that's why a lot of people's bodies are just falling apart when they get older. And I see it in family members where their minds are sharp as ever, but their bones are breaking and brittle and just pain and complications, and they're less mobile. And as they start to be less mobile and have, you know, less things they can do, then their minds start to fall apart. And it's just a downhill spiral. And I see this happening in so many people, you know, including doctors. I mean, I think that's what goes on, is that a lot of us, my goodness, we have so much student loans and we're just go and trying to grow our practice and support everybody for our patients and our staff. And then we start to fall apart. You know, the owner doctor starts to fall apart, and that's scary. And it's scary for staff, and it's scary for the families. So I want to talk to you anyways. You got my whole intro. I want to talk about HRT. Like I've told you guys, I've been doing this. It's going to be hard. If you want to do it, you're going to have a lot of roadblocks and you're going to have to make a lot of pivots in order to get the healthcare you need. So that's all I'm going to tell you. It's not easy, and it's probably not going to be covered by insurance. HRT, most people think about it in terms of estrogen and progesterone, and those are super important, but there's third, and it's testosterone. And even females, I'm not talking about people non-binary or transition, I'm not talking about that at all. I'm just talking about normal female, cis, gender, she, her, you know, whatever. I'm not saying that's abnormal, but you know, like traditional female. Sorry, I'm using probably the wrong Gen X terms, but you guys get the idea. Hopefully you're not, you know, offended by the way I'm saying things. But it's important that you have at least a little bit of testosterone, because if you don't have it, things in your system don't work. So let's talk about why we have to have testosterone. So it's super important because I'm not talking about sex or anything like that. I'm talking about longevity benefits and long-term health benefits. So for bone and muscular health, cardiovascular function, cognition, brain health, it's at this point, it's kind of like off-label through a healthcare provider, but definitely bone mineral density, muscle mass and strength, cardiovascular health, metabolic function, cognitive functions, and mood. So I added, in order to get it, it's hard. Good luck. Getting this, you have to really advocate for yourself, but holy cow. Once I got it on board a few weeks ago, I feel like I'm 20 again. I'm not joking. I'm talking about energy, what I can do during the day. Like I could go back and work a normal 40, 50 hour a week with how I feel now. So this was just incredible. So this was my baseline, and this is my values. You can see here, and I don't know that much, but they did tell me that, you know, if it was under 50 for this number, I had a problem, and it was 8. So, and then obviously it's a little higher now that I've had it. So the way it works is there's 2 different ways you can get testosterone, and you have to be really careful. You have to check your numbers and your doses, and it's not going to be cheap because you're constantly going to have to get blood work, and it's usually not going to be covered by insurance. But basically the most accurate way is that they're going to actually like poke a hole in your gluteus fat, like a giant hole, and they're going to like shove a tiny pellet that is embedded with this material that melts over time, that absorbs over time, over 3 to 4 months. And they're just going to bury it in your booty. And, you know, it's going to heal up, and it's going to be in there. It's called a pellet. So that's what they do. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. So hard to find a doctor that will do it. Easier to find a doctor that will do the other ones, because you don't always need like constant blood tests, and there's less chance of risks and everything like that. But in terms of side effects, they were all positive. I mean, the only thing that I noticed that someone would consider a negative side effect would be maybe that I have to wash my hair. Like, I feel like I want to wash it every day, which I always did anyways, because I just like that, but it's hot in Hawaii. But like, I feel like when I was 16 and I have to wash my hair and my face at the end of the day, which I would do anyways, right? But basically it's just going to make probably my skin look way better. So I'm just so excited. Yay. So that's it. So this, no brainer. I'm going to do this as long as they let me do it. All right. Take care. But yeah, you do have to monitor your blood pressure and all the other stuff too, but all mine's fine. So, all right. Thanks.